Welcome everyone today to Insiders Elite. We're just waiting for Brother Mick to get on. He's just doing a little bit of work behind. They've actually sent him way up north to go do a bunch of work way up north and stuff. So he's going to be joining us shortly. But today I'm excited. We're going to talk about getting wired for success. What does it mean to be wired for success? What does that look like? Look, it comes back to a really specific set of values within yourself, plus having the right amount of determination, that right amount of gumption to absolutely get it going. Look, myself, I ran a boot camp this week here. It was a really amazing boot camp. I had some outstanding people joining us in the boot camp. It was awesome. But let me tell you, one of the biggest things that we were able to do there is that we were able to feed 65 hungry children. Now, this is something that I'm really passionate about, being able to make that difference, being able to step up for those kids, really give those hungry kids, those homeless kids, some meals for some weekends to come. To do that, that's what it was for me. That's what got me through. That's what kept me going the whole entire time, serving, standing up, getting in front of those people, serving and delivering them, giving them everything that they needed. See, my wiring for success really truly involves helping others, being able to make that difference, whether it's me with my purpose, helping motivated business operators grow and scale their business, or whether it's actually getting on, doing something that really makes a big difference. Brother Mick's about to join us right now here, so I'm going to get him into the stream. There he is. He's made it on. Good to see you, Brother Mick. Welcome to the show.
Apologize in advance, as internet here is not amazing. But yes, Jamie, where are we at?
Oh, brother, I was just sharing a little bit about the boot camp that I run. Of course, today we're talking about being wired for success. And one of the things I was sharing is about my wiring, how I went into the boot camp, how I just stepped up and delivered, how I served, and what the wiring within me was to be able to create that massive success. And of course, a big part of it was being able to help those kids, having that bigger purpose behind it all, but to really step up and make a difference for those kids. Through the boot camp, we were able to feed 65 children, which is something that myself, you being a part of it, you were a part of that. So I want to thank you for that as well. That's big. But for me, it's definitely a part of that commitment, that absolute certainty in that, you know what, I've got exactly what I need. It's my duty. It's my responsibility to go out and serve. And at least for me, that's a little part of that wiring there. What's your thoughts on that, my man? The wiring, the actual formula, I guess we'd call it, for success, to create success in your life, in your business. What sets those people apart?
Yeah, Jamie, it's an interesting topic. And I think what sets them apart is that that internal drive to be better or to help people be better, or to serve in some way, like to constantly improve, to whether it's some people are driven to help others, some people are even driven to internally improve, but it's that constant drive, I think, for improvement, whether it's internally or externally with helping others with, like whether it's charity stuff or whether it's helping your clients be better or helping. It's that drive, I think, to improve, to constantly make gains, to be better and better and better. I think that is one of the fundamental keys to that wiring for success. You've got to have that drive to improve or constantly be better at, no matter what it is, whether you're a tradie, whether you're an online coach, whether you're an entrepreneur, or you manage a team of 100. It's that constant drive to be better.
Absolutely.
I think is one of the, I don't know if
You're there. We're good.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know if I froze then, but it's that constant drive to be better. I think that's one of the fundamental pieces of being wired for success, no matter what it is, because if you're constantly better at anything, it's inevitable that you will succeed. And to steal this line from Jamie, is success is your only option if you're constantly being better. There's no other way you can go.
Yeah, you betcha. And quite seriously, I stole that from Eminem, right? What does Eminem say? Success is my only motherfucking option. Failure's not. I've adopted that because I love it so much. I've really consciously made that choice to have success my only option. Failure's not an option. What's a failure to me? A failure is simply another opportunity to get it right or to make a bigger impact or to do something different. I get excited for those unexpected outcomes. Notice I didn't say failures. I said unexpected outcomes because number one, you know what? I'm going to learn something new. There's something new that's going to come out of it. And number two, I'm going to figure out some new ways, some new things that I get to then in turn share with those people that are working with me. Right? That's a big part of it. But it comes back to that wiring piece. It comes back to that piece that's inside of you. I'm gonna turn it on to money for a second here. One of the things that I've seen, and I've seen this, I've seen it happen hundreds, if not thousands of times, is those people who have a need, those people who go ahead and commit themselves to some type of greater good, some type of, whether it is contribution, whether it is charity, whether it's, maybe it's stepping up for a large mentoring, training, coaching package or something like that. Have you ever noticed that when people go ahead and do that, when they make that commitment, it's almost like all of a sudden you're making that more? That happens because you've created a need. Now, you all know me. I mean, we've been coming on here for a year now. I'm always saying that I'm not the woo-woo guy, and I'm definitely not going to change that here today. But what I have recognized is every time that there is a true need, not because I've just gone and spent a bunch of money to go into debt or something silly like that, but when I've committed to something, when I've stepped up to something, an absolute worthy cause, that money comes back. That money has a way of finding its way back. That drive, that extra piece, whatever it is, that will literally get you to that next level. See, we get comfortable. As human beings, we get comfortable. Great, I'm making 20,000 a year. I'm making 100,000 a year. I'm making 2 million a year, whatever that is. We get comfortable at that level. And to get out of that zone of comfort, it takes doing something. I remember working with a gentleman. He was in commercial real estate. And he was, wanting to make more, but he wasn't showing up for work. He'd, kind of show up when he wanted to. And he always seemed to stay about at the same level. I said, well, what would happen if you went and actually changed the way you did things? You committed to a greater good, to a greater purpose or something like that. He resisted for the longest time. As much as I'd like to say he jumped right on. No, he resisted for the longest time. But I'll tell you what happened when he finally did make that commitment. Things began to change. Again, I'm not the woo-woo. I'm not the energetic guy or anything like that, but I do believe in the power of making that commitment, because when you make that commitment, your mindset around it changes. And instead of a nice to have or a should, it becomes a must.
Absolutely, Jamie. And I can even speak from my own personal experience when I've made big decisions and committed, whether it's financial, whether it's career, whether it's business. It changes everything. It shifts the energy shifts. And again, neither Jamie or I are woo-woo energy people, but you can feel the energy shift and everything starts working in that same direction once you commit. And if you go dabble half-assed, your focus is dabbled and nothing is in alignment. And then when you commit, everything's in alignment. Your focus is aligned, your values, everything's heading in that direction. And that makes a massive impact. Think of you push starting a car. Those of you who've had the joy of push starting a car, if there's one of you just pushing and the other fellas are sort of not really doing too much, but all four of you go, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. The car starts moving and it gets faster and faster and faster and faster because everybody's working in the same direction. That's what happens when you commit. It's all of a sudden 1, 2, 3, go, and then you're off in that direction with all your energy and all your focus, and that makes a massive impact in propelling things forward.
Absolutely. I think that's a big part of it, is that commitment piece, but I also believe that you have to have an innate want, an innate drive, an innate desire within you to go ahead and create that outcome, whatever it might be. I'm re-listening to David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me again. I've listened to this book, 8, 9, 10 times, I'm sure by now. And I just started re-listening to it again the other day. And I'm listening to this man and, some of the challenge that he faced early on in life. Look, seriously, listeners, viewers, if you haven't got that book, it's called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Do yourself a favor, go to Audible, download it now. Don't wait. Don't look for reviews. Don't waste your time. Just go get it, because it's going to change your life. Here's a man who faced probably some of the worst adversity, or very much right up there. If it's not the worst adversity, some of the stuff right up there. And he was beaten as a child, all this sort of stuff. Yet here he's gone on to take that, to find that drive within him. And he says something really cool because a lot of people think, well, it's just motivation. I can go to Tony Robbins. I can go get someone. They can give me the rah-rah. They can give me the motivation. You know what Goggins says about motivation? He says that motivation is crap. Right? He calls it straight. I heard him say it probably 3 times as I was driving into the office this morning. Motivation is crap. Because motivation might last for an hour, a day. What did I used to see from Tony Robbins when I was one of their coaches there? 3 months. Typically, you'd go to an event, rah, rah, yeah, everything's awesome. 3 months, you'd be ticking along, and then all of a sudden, things would start to drop off, right? They wouldn't be doing the exercises. They wouldn't be following along, right? And that's the point where some of these clients would come back. It's like, hey, can you start coaching me again? Because I lost that drive, right? That's really it. You've got to have that innate drive in you. You can't be getting it from somewhere external. Right? Yes, I'm all about the coaching, the mentoring, that new information that's really going to keep you on your toes and keep you moving forward. However, what it really comes back to is having a greater purpose, a greater need, a greater desire to go do something that maybe you've never done before, right? Goggins did it, right? The challenges and all that. I mean, the first thing he ran was the San Diego 24-hour, right? 100 miles. You had to run at least 100 miles. And I mean, he did great till about mile 70 or something there, ran 70 miles and whatnot. But after that, he ran into some massive adversity. But it was that wiring within him, right? He had that resilience, but he also had that greater purpose behind it. He was running for some of the fallen, his fallen people, fallen comrades and all that. He was looking to support their families, all that sort of stuff. So big part of it is having that purpose inside. If you don't have a purpose, man, do yourself a favor, right? Ask yourself the question, what is life really all about for me? What is business really all about for me right now?
Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. And I think that is probably the most important part, is that fundamental internal drive. And you said if you get it from external sources, it never, ever, ever lasts. I can say that with my hand on my heart. If you get that source from external, it will not last. That's how you get people that sign up to program after program after program after program, because they're chasing that external motivation to keep them in that state. Yeah. Whereas you need to learn or you need to create that from yourself inside, and having a purpose and having these other things that we talk about is what gives you that fuel and that drive and that internal, I suppose, that internal drive, as opposed to searching for it external. And I agree. I'm all up for mentoring, coaching, training, learning new skills, Stan. But if you're out chasing motivation, then it's a recipe for disaster. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's about training your brain too, right? It's about the story that you're telling yourself. When, I woke up this morning, Mick sent me the topic for today. As I woke up this morning, like, oh, that's a good one. Actually, I think I saw it last night. I'm like, oh, that's a really good one. Right. So what did I do? I started thinking about it, and it's really about training that brain, really starting to understand the story that you're telling yourself. Man, if you're telling yourself that story that shit, it's going to be too hard. I don't have the money for coaching. I don't have the money for training. I don't really need it. If you're placating and you're supplicating yourself to those thoughts, to those ideas, you're going to royally fuck yourself up. We've got to stop doing that. We've got to, number one, find that purpose, that reason why we need it. And then we've got to tell ourselves the story that supports that outcome, right? Robbins, one of the things that I learned from Robbins when I attended Tony's Business Mastery, right? One of the things that really came out is he talks about state, story, and strategy. Now, most of us, what do we want? We want that strategy. We want to know the how. But I'll tell you what, you'll never get to the ultimate outcome just by following the how, by following instructions. You've got to have that story, but most importantly, you've got to start with the right state, with the right mindset to really train your brain, give yourself those proper cognitive beliefs that help. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I've discovered, right? Passion and purpose, state and story, if you want to look at it that way, they're very much intertwined, because you can have the best state. I'm awesome. I'm in my peak state. Make my move. Yes. And then you start telling your story of like, this is too hard. This is too big. I can never climb this mountain. I don't have the right tools, blah, blah, blah. The state will not sustain. Likewise, also, if you've got a story, but you're coming into it's like, yeah, I can do this. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. But you don't have that right state, you're not going to make it happen. Those two, they work together. So what would I suggest? Mick, we come back to mindset a lot on this show because, as I say all the time, mindset matters most. Mindset really, truly does matter
Yep.
most. Mindset's a part of it, though. You've got to tell yourself that story that leads you to your ultimate outcome. You've got to get the right whys.
Yep.
You've got to get the right purpose in behind it all.
Yeah, Jamie, you are dead right with that. And you can give two people the exact strategy and the mindset will win the game every single time.
Yep.
It's the piece that drives you through to success. It's the piece that helps you keep moving when it's tough. It's the piece it's the cornerstone of success. And that's when we brought this topic up for the show. It's, wiring your brain for success, wiring your body for success, wiring yourself for success, as opposed to give me the strategy that's going to make me successful. You want the strategy that's going to make yourself successful? Do the work, have the mindset for, work on your mindset, become the leader you need to be, do all the things that are internal first.
Yeah.
And that will that'll wire you through to the strategies to help make the most of the strategies, because there's lots of effective strategies out there, and it's how you apply them and how you interpret them and how you drive forward with them that makes the difference between success and learning lessons the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah. Lessons are our greatest teachers. Look, one of the things I come back to, and you'll share this with me, Brother Mick, is our time at NISI, Kerwin Ray's Nail It and Scale It program.
Yeah.
That whole thing where and he just finished up NISI. I mean, congratulations to any new grads that are watching this, any new NISI grads that are watching this. Big, huge congratulations for stepping up. Be curious to see how you're doing in the challenge. Nonetheless, though, what did you do on the first night? Right? You had a challenge to do on that first night. I myself remember that challenge. And when I woke up that morning after, busting my ass, putting in a bunch of time, bunch of effort, woke up that next morning and part of my challenge was gone. Well, holy shit. Right? I was stressed out. I was worried. But here's the thing. When it comes back to story and state, it was actually the story I told myself that helped improve the state. Because the state, let me tell you, it was a horrible state. It's like, oh my God, how could this happen? How could half of my hard work be all gone? Right? How could this even be? But then I started telling myself those 3 simple words. What are those 3 simple words, Mick?
This is simple. This is easy. This is fun.
Oh, yeah, that's it right there. Thank you, Kerwin. Thank you, Kerwin Ray. Yeah, that's it. Right? He gave us a gift before he sent us on our way with that challenge to really understand it. That story, this is simple. This is easy. This is fun. This is simple. This is easy. This is fun. Right? When I first started saying it, because my state was shit. My stuff was gone, man. The stuff I had worked on all fucking night was gone. And I'm freaking, right? Because it's due, right? It's due. This is an assignment that's due. But how did I start? I'm like, this is simple. This is easy. This is fun. My teeth were grit. I was pissed. I was not in a good place. I must have said it probably 20, 25 times. All of a sudden, my state started changing. My state changed from the story that I was telling myself because I started to believe it. I knew that success was my only option. I knew that I had to get the assignment done. I knew that there was no way that I wasn't going to do this because fucking failure is not in my life. I will not succumb to failure. Right? Success is my only option. So this is simple. This is easy. This is fun. This is simple. This is easy. This is fun. All of a sudden, I started believing that it was simple, easy, and fun. And yes, I finished the project. Right? I absolutely crushed the project out. Was it the best? Oh God, no. I'm far from the best. Right? There's a certain skill set there with the specific challenge that he assigns that I don't really have that skill. That's okay. I got the task done. I got it done with all the stuff that had to go. And I've now got that personal satisfaction. It actually created a new neural pathway to believe what I can do. Right? Another way to think about this, Tony Robbins, when you go to Tony Robbins, back when they used to be live events and all that, you did the fire walk. Now, who the fuck walks on fire without burning your feet off? Like, come on, let's get real. But here's the thing. I've done it multiple times. Each time I never had any problem with my feet whatsoever. Now, if you can walk on fire, and this is real ass fire. Like, this is the real legit deal here. It's not like it's some like glowing lights underneath something. Like it's on fucking fire. And let me tell you what, when I did that, when I walked on that, if I could do that, I wonder what else I can do. See, that's the power of the story. It's those experiences. If you haven't given yourself that gift of having an experience that absolutely challenges you to the core, you're missing out. Goggins, I'll come back to him for a second here too. What does he say? When you think you've reached your limit, When you think you've given it your all, congratulations, you've achieved 40% of what you're capable of. Whew, that's big.
Oh, that is big. And you talk about the firewalk experience. I've done it too, Jamie, and it's the same thing. It is mind-blowing. And the whole purpose of this and the exercise that Kerwin did is to open up your brain to what's possible, to change that program you've got up there that says these things are hard or you can't do it, or Jamie saying, I can't do that, I'm not creative. Well, he can do it. It may not be as perfect as you like, but yes, I can create an ebook and 5 videos in 24 hours, 12 hours.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
And it's the purpose of these things is to shift your mindset away from can't do it, too hard, not my skill set, or, that's impossible, can't walk over that. It's to open your mind to the possibility of success, of achievement, of whatever it is. The firewalk is a metaphor for the sky's the limit. If you can walk across fire, you can do anything. And the whole purpose of these is to shift your mindset. It's not to say I walked on fire and I'm invincible, because that's not true. But what it is there for is to shift your mind to possibility. Yeah. And that's the whole cornerstone of those type of tasks, activities, challenges, is to shift your mindset to possibility, to I can. Test yourself in a 100-mile run. That's impossible. I couldn't run 100 miles. Yes, well, push yourself. Once, like David Goggins says, once you've given it your all, you've only hit 40% of what you're capable of.
Yeah. That's mind-blowing.
That's mind-blowing.
I mean, I can't even conceive that. And that's why, I really suggest, man, I'm not trying to sell his book. I don't get any proceeds or anything from that. It's just one of those books, everyone says, hey, you want to read the 5 books that I'm reading or this or that? Go get Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And even more importantly, go get it on Audible, because there's a shit ton of extra information on there over the book, right? The Audible, I counted up the hours yesterday. So there's something like 11 or 12 hours in that audiobook. It's just huge, right? The book itself isn't that thick, but the actual audiobook version, he adds just a ton of extra information there. So do yourself a favor, go give that a listen. It'll change your perspective, right? It'll really change your perspective, right? Because if someone like that can do something like that, coming from a place of adversity, it's not like this man grew up rich or anything like that, but he had an innate desire to know that he wanted to do more. And here's the thing. Some people are going to be happy with what they've got. Some people are happy with their lives. I'm not saying those people are wrong. Matter of fact, that's great. If you're satisfied, if you're placated in that life of where you are and everything that's going on, that's great. Myself, I know for myself, I choose to always seek more, because for me, check this out. For me, it's directly linked to my purpose. Everything I learn, I spend an hour every single Friday filling my brain and filling my mind, learning from an absolute master. When it comes to sales and all that, it's an absolute fucking master. I never, ever, ever miss it. Don't care what's happening. Don't care what's going on. Don't care if I'm on vacation. I will never miss this, because I recognize the knowledge is incredibly powerful. But what drives me to make sure that I never miss it? Because I know that what I'm going to do is to be able to take at least a portion of what I've learned and share it with my clients, to help them grow, to help them relieve the unnecessary stress, grow and scale their businesses, and become true business owners. See, everything comes back to that purpose. It really, truly does for me. It's been a game changer for me. Mick, your purpose, when you start to think about it, about, what you're doing, Awaken Business, how you're helping people and all that, what really comes out in that you'd be happy to share with us here today?
For me, my purpose is to create true freedom for business owners by, relieving that stress and growing their business so they can create the life they want, Yeah. And for me, it's really powerful. And the passion, and what I see is, lots of people, they go out and they start a business and they work a ton of hours, and it's just what drives me. When you do your purpose, people say, what is it that keeps you up at night? It's the thought of the people they work in 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week to get their business so they can create some freedom, that they've got 3 kids at home. They barely see them because they constantly work. And when you ask their kids, yeah, my dad's got a phone glued to his ear because he's always working. He's always, these are the things that I want to change in business, because it doesn't have to be like that. It shouldn't be like that. And there's so much more that can be achieved in business without doing that. And look, that's the thing that keeps me up at night, that drives me, is that impact that small businesses and businesses have on the family life, and the stress and how that all impacts. And that's what drives me. That's why I want to help businesses. That's why I want to do what I can to change the game.
Yeah, I love that. Right. Again, it's a commitment to something greater. You've committed, right? And really hear this when I say this. You've committed a portion of your life to helping others, right? That goal, that purpose, I mean, that's strong. I've really got to believe, knowing you, and I mean, we've known each other for years now, knowing you, that really makes you unstoppable. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, Jamie. Again, to quote your line, success is my only option. When you've got a purpose like that, you will do what it takes to make sure that you get the results you need. Yeah. What do you think some tips are, or how could I start? If I've been one of those people that's, I kind of thought there was more out there. There's more, but I didn't know what the more was. I've listened to the show here. I've listened to Insiders Elite today, and I'm recognizing, holy shit, I've got to do something. Where would you maybe suggest that I start? Is there like an activity? Is there something I could do, something I could watch, something I could experience? What would be a great place for me to start doing that, in your opinion? Look, I think the first step, and the person has already taken that, is because they've just sort of thought that there's more. Mm-hmm. That invites that curiosity mindset. So there's more. So what is it? So start following that. Start believing in that. Start feeling that on the inside. Start searching for things. Watch some of our old episodes. Scroll through the headlines. Find one that resonates with you, and watch that. Start consuming a little bit of content from some of the people we mentioned. Listen to the David Goggins audio. Kerwin Ray, Tony Robbins, they got a ton of free content out there. You don't have to spend any money. Just start looking at some of the content, some of the information out there, and just use that curiosity mindset and let it blossom, because that's the start of it all. Once you discover that there's more out there, don't be afraid of it. Go chase it. Follow that curiosity and go look for what's out there. And there's so much out there, and there's so much out there for free that, like we've put out, I would say, close to 500 hours worth of free content just on this show. 500 hours worth of free content that you can go and watch. There's nearly $500,000 worth of knowledge and money spent gaining information, and we've just shared 500 hours of that for free. So you don't have to spend a fortune, and please don't fall into the sales trap. Go look, go be curious, go see what you like, test the waters, see what's out there. And by all means, if you want to work more with someone, if you want to work more with Jamie or I, reach out. But if there's anyone else you see that you want to work with, Kerwin or anyone else, go follow that curiosity lead. Taste some more of their content. Go look at their programs. Follow the curiosity, and it'll be the biggest decision you make in your life, because it's a game changer. Yeah, absolutely. Don't wait. Right? There's no time to wait. There's really no time to wait. If you've recognized that you have that inkling, you have that little tickle in the back of your mind that you want more, that you know that there's more, we both implore you, go do something about it. Right? What do I say all the time? My 2 key words, I think I'm going to copyright this thing or trademark. Go do. Right? Quite seriously, go do. The worst thing you could ever do is to sit back and just sit there on your ass hoping that something's going to happen. Why? Because someone told you that, all good things are going to come if you just believe. Take some action. Take some massive, dedicated, determined action towards what it is you want. The journey itself, just the journey itself, is going to be massively satisfying. I know for me it has been. Has there been some shit in the journey? Oh, yeah. There's been lots of shit along the way, but here's the thing. That shit, that's actually opportunity for growth. I've trained myself. I've created those neural pathways that say, oh, there's some shit going on. Guess what? I'm going to get to learn something here. I'm going to get to know how to do it. And what's even better, I get to go share that with all my clients. Right? I get to go share that with each and every person that I know, that I work with, all that thing. Mick said something important there too. If you want to reach out, you reach out.
here's what's great. You reach out to Mick, you reach out to me. What's really great is you're getting both of us. I mean, we work together. We do a ton of shit behind the scenes. We step up. I ran my boot camp this week. What did Mick do? Mick came on for every single day, totally supported me 100%, helped me run it, all that sort of stuff. Right? Whether you contact, it doesn't matter who you contact, you're going to get us both anyways, because we're here to step up and we're here to make that difference for each other. Why? Because success is our only motherfucking option.
Absolutely.
Boom. That's a mic drop right there. That's a mic drop.
Look, and do yourself a favor, follow that curiosity, go out and explore the world of more, because there's more of everything. When your mindset shifts, there's more money, there's more love, there's more happiness, there's more. As soon as you shift your mindset, you realize that all of those things come from within, not from without. And that is when the game changes.
Yeah. Satisfaction, fulfillment, it's all out there. It just takes you going and doing. With that said, I think we're going to wrap a little bit early today. I've got some things that I've got to take care of here for sure. Mick, any last thoughts? Any last words?
Look, thanks everyone for the show. And like I said, there's 500 hours of free content just on our Insiders Elite. So go explore, go see what's out there, and do yourself a favor and get curious about the world of more. You won't regret it.
Yeah, you'll be glad you did. With that said, we will catch you next week on Insiders Elite.
Sorry, everyone froze. Great internet.